Imagine if in just 21 days, you could transform your life, your mindset, and the way you show up in the world. Imagine waking up every morning feeling unstoppable, focused, and fully alive. What if I told you that small, consistent habits could create massive change not in years, but in just 3 weeks? Today, I am going to share the secret routine that builds unstoppable people and how you can start your transformation starting now. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning with a sense of clarity and purpose that electrifies every part of your day. The way you begin your morning sets the tone for everything that follows. Yet so often we rush through it without intention. Think about it when you open your eyes, before checking your phone or diving into distractions. You have a precious opportunity to decide how you will show up in the world. Starting your day with purpose is not just about making a to-do list. It's about connecting with yourself on a deeper level, aligning your actions with your values, and consciously choosing the energy you bring into every interaction. When you wake up with intention, your mind becomes focused, your emotions stabilized, and your actions deliberate rather than reactive. This doesn't mean every day will be perfect, but it means that no matter the challenges that arise, you approach them from a place of clarity rather than chaos. Visualize the impact this can have. You walk into your work, your relationships, and your personal goals with a mindset that attracts positivity, resilience, and momentum. A purposeful morning is like planting seeds in fertile soil. Each mindful choice you make early on multiplies throughout the day, shaping your character, building your discipline, and gradually transforming your life. And the beautiful part is that this doesn't require hours of effort. Even a few intentional minutes, whether spent in reflection, prayer, meditation, or simply setting your intentions, can shift the trajectory of your entire day. Over 21 days, this simple practice compounds, turning small, consistent choices into unstoppable momentum. It is in these moments of conscious beginning that extraordinary lives are built, one morning at a time, proving that the way you start your day truly determines the life you live. Gratitude is more than just saying thank you or recognizing the good in your life. It is a powerful practice that fundamentally reshapes the way you see the world. Most of us spend far too much time focusing on what we don't have, what went wrong, or what others have that we lack. This constant comparison and complaint drains our energy and clouds our perspective. But when you deliberately shift your attention to what is already present in your life, no matter how small, something remarkable happens. Your mind starts to rewire itself toward positivity, resilience, and contentment. Gratitude is not about ignoring challenges or pretending life is perfect. It's about acknowledging the blessings and resources that exist even amidst difficulty. By focusing on what you can appreciate, you build a mental habit that fosters hope, patience, and joy. Imagine starting each day listing 3 things you are truly grateful for: your health, a supportive friend, a roof over your head, a moment of beauty in nature, or even a small success you achieved the day before. Doing this daily strengthens your mindset, shifts your energy, and primes you to notice opportunities instead of obstacles. It creates a ripple effect. When you feel gratitude, your interactions with others become more compassionate, your decisions become more thoughtful, and your ability to handle stress improves dramatically. Gratitude transforms ordinary experiences into meaningful moments and ordinary people into resilient, unstoppable individuals. Over the course of 21 days, practicing gratitude consistently trains your brain to see abundance rather than scarcity, to feel satisfaction rather than lack, and to act from a place of fullness rather than desperation. This simple yet profound shift doesn't just improve your mood, it changes the trajectory of your life. It equips you to face challenges with courage, to celebrate even small victories, and to live a life that is rich not just in material success, but in peace, purpose, and fulfillment. The power of gratitude lies in its consistency. The more you practice it, the more it becomes part of who you are, silently shaping every thought, word, and action toward a life of unstoppable potential. Taking care of your body and mind is not just about appearance or fitness, it is about creating the foundation for a life of energy, focus, and resilience. Our bodies are remarkable machines, but they require attention, movement, and nourishment to function at their best. Physical activity does more than strengthen muscles or burn calories. It invigorates the mind, sharpens focus, and releases stress that would otherwise accumulate and weigh you down. Even a short walk, a few minutes of stretching, or a simple exercise routine can dramatically impact your mood, energy levels, and mental clarity. When you move your body, you send a message to your mind that you are capable, disciplined, and ready to face challenges. Similarly, the mind needs exercise and nourishment too. Just as we feed our bodies with healthy food, we must feed our minds with positive, constructive, and growth-oriented thoughts. Consuming uplifting books, inspiring talks, or educational material is akin to providing nutrients that strengthen your mental muscles. A well-exercised mind develops resilience, focus, and creativity, enabling you to approach problems with clarity instead of panic, and to turn obstacles into opportunities instead of roadblocks. Over time, this combination of physical and mental discipline becomes a habit that compounds, building unstoppable momentum. The key is consistency rather than intensity. It is far better to engage in small, daily practices than to attempt sporadic, overwhelming routines that fade quickly. When you commit to this daily practice, something extraordinary happens. Your body becomes more vibrant, your energy more sustainable, and your mind sharper and more adaptable. This synergy between body and mind creates a foundation for excellence, allowing you to show up fully in your work, relationships, and personal goals. It teaches you that discipline is not a punishment, but a gift that enables freedom, creativity, and confidence. Over 21 days, the routine of exercising both your body and mind starts to produce tangible results, not just physically, but in the way you think, respond, and engage with the world. You begin to notice a difference in your energy levels, your emotional stability, and your ability to handle challenges with poise and determination. By investing even a small amount of time and effort into yourself each day, you are essentially creating a powerhouse of potential within you, a self that is resilient, energized, and unstoppable, ready to achieve goals that once seemed out of reach. This is the essence of building a life where your body and mind work together in harmony, fueling each other, and setting the stage for a future that is defined by strength, clarity, and limitless possibility. Reflection is one of the most powerful tools for personal growth. yet it is often overlooked in our fast paced, distraction filled lives. Taking a few moments each day to pause and look inward allows you to examine your thoughts, actions, and emotions with clarity and honesty. Reflection is not about judgment or self criticism, it is about understanding yourself better, learning from experiences, and making conscious choices that move you closer to the life you want to live. When you reflect daily, you begin to notice patterns, both positive and negative, that shape your behavior and influence your outcomes. You start to recognize which habits serve you and which ones hold you back. This awareness is the first step toward meaningful change because you cannot improve what you do not observe. Reflection also gives you the chance to celebrate progress, no matter how small, and to reinforce the behaviors that lead to growth and success. It creates a sense of accountability within yourself, reminding you that you are responsible for your own actions and their consequences. By dedicating even just 5 to 10 minutes each day to reflect, you cultivate mindfulness, clarity, and a deeper connection with your inner self. Over time, this practice strengthens your ability to make intentional decisions rather than reacting impulsively to circumstances, emotions, or external pressures. Reflection acts as a mirror that shows not only where you are, but also where you are headed, and it provides the insights needed to course correct when necessary. It encourages gratitude for lessons learned from both successes and failures, helping you to approach life with humility, patience, and resilience. As you continue this practice consistently over 21 days, the benefits compound. You become more self-aware, more grounded, and more confident in your choices. You develop the ability to pause before reacting, to consider the long-term consequences of your actions, and to navigate life with a sense of calm and purpose. Reflection transforms ordinary days into meaningful experiences, ordinary decisions into deliberate actions, and ordinary people into unstoppable individuals who live with intention, clarity, and unwavering focus. Ultimately, the habit of daily reflection is not just a tool, it is a bridge to becoming the best version of yourself, enabling you to grow continuously, act wisely, and live a life that is truly aligned with your deepest values and aspirations. Momentum is the invisible force that separates ordinary efforts from extraordinary results, and it is built through the consistent pursuit of small, daily victories. Many people wait for a massive breakthrough, a perfect opportunity, or an all-encompassing change, but the truth is that transformation is rarely sudden. It is the accumulation of small, intentional actions taken every single day that create unstoppable growth. Each day presents a chance to achieve a tiny win, a task completed, a fear faced, a habit practiced, or a kind word spoken that may seem insignificant in isolation but compounds over time to create extraordinary results. When you commit to achieving one small win each day, you are not just checking off tasks, you are training your mind, strengthening your discipline, and reinforcing the belief that you are capable of progress. These small victories create a sense of accomplishment, boost confidence, and generate the internal energy necessary to tackle bigger challenges. Momentum feeds on consistency. The more you act, the more your actions fuel your motivation, and the more motivated you become, the easier it is to take further action. This cycle, when sustained over 21 days, begins to transform not just your outcomes, but your identity. You start seeing yourself as someone who is disciplined, resilient, and unstoppable. Even setbacks become learning opportunities rather than reasons to quit, because you recognize that each day is a chance to reclaim momentum. The beauty of focusing on small, daily wins is that it removes the pressure of achieving perfection. Success no longer feels like a distant, overwhelming goal. It becomes a series of manageable, intentional steps. Over time, these steps accumulate into habits. Habits accumulate into character, and character ultimately defines the trajectory of your life. By committing to this simple yet profound principle, you build a foundation of consistent action that carries you forward even when motivation wanes or circumstances become challenging. Momentum, once established, becomes self-sustaining, turning ordinary individuals into unstoppable forces, capable of achieving goals that once seemed impossible. Through this daily practice of small wins, you learn a vital truth. Greatness is not the result of rare, monumental efforts, but of persistent, consistent actions that compound over time, shaping not just what you achieve, but who you become. The information and influences we allow into our minds each day have a profound impact on the way we think, feel, and act. Yet most of us underestimate their power. Just as the body requires healthy nutrition to function optimally, the mind requires positive, constructive, and inspiring input to grow, remain resilient, and make sound decisions. Every book we read, every conversation we engage in, every video we watch or podcast we listen to either strengthens or weakens our mental framework. Feeding the mind with negativity, complaints, or trivial distractions creates stress, doubt, and stagnation, whereas consuming content that educates, uplifts, and motivates cultivates creativity, clarity, and inner strength. The mind is like fertile soil. If we plant seeds of wisdom, inspiration, and growth consistently, it will yield a harvest of insight, confidence, and purposeful action. Conversely, if we let it be overrun by negative influences, fear, and mindless entertainment, we starve our potential and limit our capacity to thrive. Developing a habit of consciously choosing what we expose our minds to is one of the most powerful practices we can adopt. This could be as simple as reading a few pages of an enlightening book each morning, listening to motivational talks, engaging in meaningful conversations, or reflecting on spiritual and personal growth content. Over time, these small, consistent efforts compound, shaping the way we perceive the world, handle challenges, and pursue goals. Feeding your mind positively is not a one-time effort but a lifestyle, a daily commitment to nurturing thoughts that empower you rather than diminish you. When the mind is well fed, it becomes sharper, more focused, and more resilient in the face of adversity. It enables you to make decisions with clarity, to respond to difficulties with calm rather than panic, and to approach life with a mindset of abundance and possibility. Over 21 days, cultivating this habit begins to create a mental environment where positivity, creativity, and problem-solving flourish naturally. Your thoughts become aligned with your aspirations, your beliefs with your potential, and your actions with your purpose. By deliberately choosing what to feed your mind, you are not only shaping your daily experience, but also constructing the architecture of a life defined by growth, resilience, and unstoppable momentum. This practice, though simple, has the power to transform ordinary routines into extraordinary outcomes, and ordinary people into individuals capable of remarkable achievements, all because they committed to nurturing their minds with intention and care. Serving others is one of the most transformative practices a person can embrace, yet it is often overlooked in the pursuit of personal success, recognition, or comfort. True fulfillment does not come from what we accumulate for ourselves, but from the impact we create in the lives of others. When you make a conscious effort to help, uplift, or support someone, whether it's through a small act of kindness, offering your time, sharing knowledge, or simply being present, you not only change their day, but you also transform your own heart and mind. Service teaches humility, compassion, patience, and empathy, qualities that cannot be learned from books or lectures alone. It shifts your focus from self-centered thinking to a broader perspective, helping you understand that life is interconnected and that the well-being of others ultimately affects your own. The beauty of serving others is that it doesn't require grand gestures. Even small, consistent actions have profound ripple effects. A smile, a word of encouragement, or a helping hand can spark hope and positivity in ways you may never fully realize. As you practice this consistently over 21 days, the habit of service begins to rewire your brain, creating neural pathways that enhance empathy, reduce negativity, and increase your sense of purpose. Serving others also strengthens relationships, builds trust, and opens doors to opportunities and collaborations that might never have appeared if your focus had remained solely on yourself. Moreover, it teaches resilience because serving often requires patience, understanding, and perseverance, especially when your efforts are met with indifference or resistance. In these moments, you learn to give selflessly, not for recognition, but for the intrinsic satisfaction of knowing you made a difference. Over time, the act of service creates a feedback loop of positivity. The more you give, the more fulfilled and energized you feel, and the more naturally you continue to give, building an unstoppable cycle of growth and impact. This practice shapes your character, cultivates integrity, and fosters a mindset that sees opportunities to contribute rather than obstacles or inconveniences. By embedding service into your daily routine, you gradually become someone whose presence uplifts others, whose actions inspire, and whose life is defined not merely by personal achievements, but by the meaningful difference made in the world around you. Serving others is, in essence, a practice of becoming greater than yourself, a way to channel your energy, talents, and resources into creating a life of purpose, fulfillment, and unstoppable impact that continues to grow and compound long after the initial act. Time is the most precious resource we have, yet it is often the most mismanaged. Every person receives the same 24 hours in a day, but how we choose to spend those hours determines the course of our lives. Managing your time wisely is not about cramming more tasks into your schedule or working endlessly. It is about prioritizing what truly matters, eliminating distractions, and focusing your energy on actions that align with your goals and values. Each moment wasted on mindless scrolling, gossip, or procrastination is a moment taken away from building the life you desire. A learning to distinguish between urgent tasks and important ones is crucial because too often we let the noise of immediate demands overshadow long-term priorities. Wise time management begins with clarity. understanding your goals, breaking them into actionable steps, and dedicating consistent blocks of time to work on them without interruption. It also involves saying no to things that drain your energy or deviate you from your purpose, even if they seem harmless or socially expected. Discipline in how you manage your time creates freedom rather than restriction because it allows you to make progress steadily and predictably without the chaos of constant catch up or last minute stress. Over 21 days, cultivating the habit of intentional time management starts to compound, transforming not only your productivity, but also your confidence, focus, and sense of control over your life. You begin to notice how small, consistent choices about how you spend your hours build momentum and shape your identity. When you respect your time, others respect it too, and your life begins to reflect a pattern of deliberate action rather than reactive drift. Effective time management also nurtures balance, ensuring that you allocate space for work, rest, growth, relationships, and self-care. It teaches patience and mindfulness because you learn that rushing through life does not create more time. Conscious pacing and prioritization do. By mastering your schedule and committing to spending your hours intentionally, you empower yourself to achieve more, stress less, and create a life that aligns with your deepest aspirations. Over time, this practice turns ordinary routines into disciplined habits, small actions into meaningful progress, and fleeting moments into a lifetime of accomplishments. The way you manage your time ultimately determines the quality, direction, and impact of your life, and by taking control of it now, you lay the foundation for unstoppable growth, resilience, and success. Emotional mastery is one of the most critical skills a person can develop, yet it is often misunderstood or neglected. Many people live at the mercy of their emotions, reacting impulsively to circumstances, letting anger, fear, or frustration dictate their decisions, and often regretting their actions afterward. True emotional mastery is not about suppressing feelings or pretending to be unaffected. It is about observing, understanding, and managing your emotions in a way that empowers rather than controls you. When you learn to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, your relationships, decision-making, and personal growth improve dramatically. Developing this skill requires self-awareness, the ability to recognize what you are feeling in the moment, understand the triggers behind those emotions, and choose a response that aligns with your values and goals rather than momentary impulses. Over time, practicing emotional mastery builds resilience, patience, and empathy, allowing you to navigate challenges with calm and clarity. Even in the face of adversity, it transforms stress into motivation, frustration into learning, and fear into courage. Emotional mastery also enhances your ability to connect with others meaningfully because it allows you to listen, respond, and act without being clouded by unchecked feelings. Small daily practices, such as mindful breathing, reflection, journaling, or pausing before responding in difficult situations, gradually strengthen your ability to manage emotions effectively. Over 21 days, these consistent efforts begin to create neural pathways that make emotional regulation more natural and automatic. You start noticing a profound difference. You handle criticism with grace, disappointment with perspective, and conflicts with wisdom rather than impulsive reaction. Mastery over your emotions is not just a tool for handling challenges. It becomes a source of inner strength that permeates every aspect of your life. It allows you to act from a place of intention, build trust in your relationships, make decisions confidently, and maintain balance even in turbulent times. By dedicating yourself to cultivating emotional mastery, you are investing in a foundation of self-control, resilience, and inner peace that no external circumstance can easily shake. Over time, this practice transforms ordinary responses into deliberate actions, ordinary people into composed and influential leaders, and ordinary lives into ones defined by clarity, strength, and unstoppable momentum. Emotional mastery teaches that while you cannot always control what happens around you, you can always control how you respond, and it is this control that shapes the trajectory of your life in profound and lasting ways. Ending your day with reflection and planning is one of the most powerful habits you can cultivate to create a life of purpose, growth, and unstoppable momentum. The way you conclude each day has a profound impact on how you sleep, how you recharge, and how you prepare for the opportunities and challenges of the next day. By taking even a few minutes each evening to review your actions, assess your progress, and identify areas for improvement, you create a bridge between experience and learning, ensuring that nothing valuable is lost in the rush of daily life. Reflection is not about dwelling on mistakes or feeling regret. It is about observing your choices, understanding the consequences of your actions, and celebrating the wins, no matter how small, that propel you forward. When you combine reflection with thoughtful planning, you set the stage for intentional action the following day. This habit allows you to prioritize what truly matters, anticipate potential obstacles, and mentally rehearse how you will respond to challenges with clarity and focus. Over time, this consistent practice strengthens your discipline, sharpens your decision making, and reinforces your commitment to personal growth. It cultivates mindfulness, helping you to live in the present while also preparing strategically for the future. By writing down lessons learned, noting achievements, and outlining tomorrow's priorities, you create a sense of accountability and ownership over your life that is hard to achieve otherwise. This process also reduces stress and mental clutter, because instead of carrying worries and unfinished tasks into your rest time, you consciously organize them and release what is beyond your immediate control. Over 21 days, the habit of ending your day with reflection and planning begins to compound, creating a mental framework that supports clarity, focus, and unstoppable progress. You start to notice patterns in your behavior, understand your strengths and weaknesses more deeply, and make proactive choices rather than reactive ones. This practice transforms ordinary evenings into moments of growth and preparation, ordinary routines into disciplined habits, and ordinary individuals into people who consistently operate at their highest potential. Ultimately, ending your day with reflection and planning is not just a ritual, it is a strategy for mastery over your life. It teaches that every day, no matter how challenging or ordinary it may seem, carries lessons, opportunities, and seeds for the future. By committing to this habit, you equip yourself with the tools to continually improve, act with intention, and wake up each morning ready to take the next step toward becoming unstoppable, living purposefully, and creating a life defined by growth, fulfillment, and extraordinary achievement. Ending your day with reflection and planning is one of the most powerful yet underutilized practices for building consistency, clarity, and momentum in life. The way you close your day is just as important as how you begin it, because it determines the quality of your rest, the sharpness of your mind, and the readiness of your spirit to face tomorrow. Most people end their days passively, scrolling through endless content, worrying about unfinished tasks, or simply collapsing into bed without processing the day that just unfolded. But when you intentionally pause to reflect on your day, you give yourself the gift of awareness and growth. Reflection allows you to look back on the past hours and ask meaningful questions. What did I do well today? Where could I have been better? Did I live according to my values? Did I move even slightly closer to my goals? These questions do not condemn you for your mistakes, but they help you learn from them and prevent you from repeating the same patterns. They also give you the chance to celebrate small wins that might otherwise go unnoticed, reinforcing your sense of progress and strengthening your motivation. Reflection is like closing the pages of a book chapter. It provides closure, clarity, and a sense of completeness. After reflecting, the next step is planning, because tomorrow is not something to stumble into unprepared. When you take even a few minutes to write down your priorities for the next day, to schedule tasks that matter most, and to set intentions for how you want to show up, you reduce stress and increase focus. Instead of waking up uncertain or scattered, you rise with clarity and direction. This simple act of planning gives your mind the freedom to rest more peacefully at night, because it no longer needs to carry the weight of tomorrow's worries. Over time, the cycle of nightly reflection and planning becomes a ritual that transforms your life. Over 21 days, you will notice yourself becoming more mindful, more intentional, and more productive. You will see how small adjustments, recognized through reflection, create significant changes, and how purposeful planning prevents wasted time and misdirected energy. This practice doesn't just help you manage days, it helps you design your life. Each evening becomes an opportunity to refine yourself, to course correct, and to align your actions with your highest goals. Ending your day this way instills discipline and builds confidence, because you know you are no longer drifting through life, but steering it deliberately. It shifts your mindset from being reactive to proactive, from being controlled by circumstances to taking command of them. Over time, this consistency shapes your character, strengthens your resilience, and creates a rhythm of growth that is unstoppable. Reflection and planning at the end of each day are not small or secondary acts. They are the silent architects of a purposeful life, ensuring that every sunrise meets a person who is prepared, focused, and committed to living fully and intentionally. There is a profound connection between the way you begin your morning and the way your entire day unfolds. When you start your day with clarity, intention, and discipline, you set into motion a rhythm that carries you forward with strength and direction. But when your morning begins in chaos, distractions, or mindless habits, it becomes much harder to find balance and focus later. The first few moments after waking up are like the foundation of a building. If the foundation is strong, everything built upon it stands firm. But if the foundation is weak, cracks will eventually appear. Starting your day with purpose does not mean overloading yourself with tasks or chasing productivity for its own sake. It means aligning your mind, body, and spirit with the values and goals that matter most to you. This could be as simple as taking a moment of silence to center yourself, offering gratitude for being alive, moving your body to awaken energy, or reading something uplifting that nourishes your mind. These seemingly small rituals act as anchors, reminding you of who you are and what you are striving toward, even before the world begins to pull you in different directions. When you consistently choose to begin your mornings with meaningful actions, you send a message to your subconscious that you are intentional about your life, that you are not merely drifting but steering your own ship. Over time, this morning practice creates momentum, sharpening your focus, strengthening your discipline, and stabilizing your emotions. It gives you resilience against unexpected challenges because you have already grounded yourself in purpose before the day begins. A purposeful morning is not about the number of hours spent, but the quality of the intention you bring into those first few minutes. As you sustain this practice for 21 days, it becomes ingrained into your identity. It is no longer something you have to force yourself to do. It becomes who you are. You become the kind of person who rises each day with clarity, who faces obstacles with calm determination, and who approaches life with a steady confidence that others notice and admire. This simple yet profound commitment transforms ordinary mornings into powerful beginnings and ordinary lives into extraordinary journeys, proving that how you choose to start your day will ultimately determine the life you create.